Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year.
People have long suspected that Diddy wasn't exactly a model citizen, someone who used his influence to push others around. But according to Jaguar Wright's latest claims, the reality could be far darker than anyone imagined. If even a fraction of what she's alleging holds weight, we're looking at behavior that goes far beyond simple exploitation.
If that's even possible. Because if he was able to pull this off before he was a billionaire, look at what we got going on now. Derek replies, this is illegal. And Sean Combs, Kim Elworthy are all behind this, and you're going to just sit there and let this happen, Your Honor. And the judge says, gotta pay the bills somehow.
According to Jaguar's account, an incident involving Diddy in 1997 allegedly made its way into the court system, yet somehow never reached the public eye. The question is why. If her story has any truth behind it, someone with real authority stepped in to keep the matter quiet, shielding him from scrutiny at a time when headlines should have been unavoidable. So what would motivate the government to intervene in a case tied to a high-profile figure? What benefit could there possibly be in protecting someone facing such serious accusations? The idea alone raises red flags about influence, access, and the power dynamics surrounding celebrity.
Do is they want you to hammer me, and they want you to pressure me, and they want you to try to put me in the grinder and see if I'll fall apart. And guess what? Welcome it, please.
It's exactly where today's breakdown begins. And let me be clear, this isn't a small story. If the details hold up, they could influence Diddy's legal future in ways no one saw coming. At the same time, Jaguar's decision to speak publicly has put her under real pressure, and she knows it. According to her, everything traces back to a little-known case from 1998, a case she says most people never even knew existed. The court documents, she explained, centered around a man named Derek Lee Cardello Smith, who allegedly spent nearly 3 decades behind bars for a crime he maintained he didn't commit. Jaguar insists his situation wasn't random, it was directly connected to Diddy. She went on to say that Derek was listed as the defendant in a case involving an alleged attack on a man named Carl Bishop. Jaguar claimed she reviewed the table of contents from the case file and noted the key individuals involved. But then she raised the stakes even higher.
Incident report identifying Sean Combs as the assault suspect. Well, do you understand what that means?
Hey.
Do you understand what that means? What I'm holding right here in my hand in this device that I uploaded for protection of the records. See, while everybody was busy watching that sham of whatever that was supposed to be to make people think that that guy actually was finally handled up on in some way, shape, or form, God was busy making sure that these very real findings came to me. Do you see what I'm telling you?
No, definitely.
There's a great kick. And the diddler is the assailant. His DNA found inside a man.
Jaguar said the paperwork revealed major problems in how Derek's case was handled. She claimed evidence was mishandled and that people with authority were aware of it. According to her, the file made it look as if Derek Cardello was blamed for actions he never committed, while the real misconduct pointed towards someone with far more influence.
Cardello Smith said, Your Honor, I want to say this much. My mother is going to have to hear me say lies. And then she's going to think that I'm this type of person that I'm not. I'm not this kind of man that you people are forcing me to be. I wanted to be clear that you can say on the record that I am a man who defended a woman and myself, and that I am being framed for multiple crimes that I am innocent of, and you know it, and are still forcing me into this with your full knowledge. Are you man enough to say that on this court record, sir? And the judge's response is, I am more than man enough to say so. Everything you said, I adopt on the record as true. You are not a rapist. You have been framed. And it was all done on our approval, and most especially on the approval of Kim L. Worthy. Are you happy now? Derek responds, hopefully one day this will all come out. The judge says, not today.
Jaguar said she uploaded the documents as a safeguard, in case her copies were ever lost or destroyed. It's a chilling move, highlighting just how serious the situation is. According to her, Derek was effectively framed by the system, with Diddy allegedly tied to the case. And it's all now visible to the public. Even more disturbing, Derek's repeated attempts to assert his innocence appear to have made no difference, leaving a clear sense of injustice.
This is illegal. And Sean Combs, Kim L. Worthy are all behind this, and you're going to just sit there and let this happen, Your Honor. And the judge says, gotta pay the bills somehow. And the witness, Kim L. Worthy, says, amen to that.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Damn. So, Jack, when you see the words "justice for Diddy," what does justice look like to you?
I don't know if that's even possible. Because if he was able to pull this off before he was a billionaire, look at what we got going on now. See, this is bigger than anything that any of us can talk about. This isn't Detroit. Who would ever think that the diddler had action where he could move things around like this in Detroit? And we're talking all the way back in the 90s. And every time this man has been about to come up for parole, Kim Worthy goes and gets one of those great kits that she's been holding on to and just throws it on him. And he's back, he's got to stay in jail. You don't remember right after Diddy was taken into custody, that story that came out about the inmate that sued him for $100 million and won on a default judgment? Y'all don't remember hearing about that right after he was arrested?
Yeah, it was so many lawsuits, but yes, that was one of them.
Yeah, but it was the only lawsuit where you had heard somebody had actually won against him.
Jaguar stated that the documents contained DNA test results connecting Diddy to the case. She emphasized that his name wasn't casually referenced according to the files. He was formally listed as a person responsible.
He was actually an investor in Bad Boy. And they've been keeping him monkeyed up in jail all of this time, so they ain't gotta pay him.
Yes, hell, I want to know what justice for Derek looks like right now. Jeez. Hell.
He's entitled to 49% of whatever Combs Enterprise has amassed in the past 30 years. Almost 30 years. That's what he's entitled to. He already won a $100 million judgment. See, this is what was going on in the background while whatever that foolishness we just watched was happening. This was all going on in the background. It's starting to make you wonder if that trial happened to cover this up. Everything that they've done to ruin it so people would never believe a word that came out of his mouth. See, when you start here with these transcripts from 1998, which were sealed and then unsealed in 2007 and then sat there in the clerk's office and nobody knew about it because nobody knew to come and get it. Nobody knew where to get it. Different names on the same case number. They thought they were clever.
Jaguar then shifted focus to Diddy's legal team. She claimed that one lawyer, Mark Agnello, had previously been connected, albeit indirectly, to Derek's case years before.
They're talking to me about these weirdo lawyers, including Mark Agnello. You want to know what's funny? While Mark Agnello was sitting there making fun of baby oil and doing all of the stuff that he was doing in court and creating all of that nice guy hoopla, trying to get everyone to believe that Diddy is not such a terrible person and now he's a wonderful man and he deserves to go back to Madison Square Garden and he's going to be right there to cheer him on. Do you want to know where else he was? In Wayne County, negotiating with Derek Lee Cordello Smith.
Wow.
His victim.
Wow.
Why would he be in negotiations with him if he actually believed that everything that he said in that courtroom was true?
Sounds like a fixer.
Sounds like a fixer.
Jaguar alleged that the same lawyer who recently represented Diddy publicly had also met with Derek privately in the past, while Diddy himself reportedly used an alias during meetings in Wayne County.
Went to that jail to visit Derek his damn self in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Guess what name he was using to go to that jail to visit Derek so nobody would know it was him?
John Smith?
Brother Love.
Gosh. Damn.
What is clergy?
Damn. This is very wild. What made you?
That's where he went. Just a couple of days before HSI raided all of his properties. What do I think about the powers that be? What you want me to think?
Oh, wait. What made you find this rabbit hole to go down, and how many more rabbit holes do you believe there are?
Oh. See, I live in the rabbit hole. I don't believe in what everybody else believes in. I'm telling you something right now. When you got court officials that's sitting in court, they so brazen that they're actually threatening people.
That's very brazen.
Do you see how this is going to go?
Jaguar. The story went far beyond Diddy's current sentencing. It traced a decade-long series of events that unfolded largely out of public view. Now that these claims are coming to light, the implications for Diddy could be serious. Reports from multiple reputable media outlets suggest the courts may already be considering a longer prison term.
John Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year. The news coming after reports of Combs drinking in prison, something he denies, after he was accepted into a rehab program in prison that could have reduced his sentence by up to a year. He's also been accused of making a prohibited three-way phone call from prison.
It's right, Diddy has reportedly been making calls from prison, even though he's not permitted to. But what's so urgent that he would risk angering the judges? Could it be something that threatens him personally? Or perhaps puts his business empire at risk? Or is it a matter he fears could still jeopardize his freedom?
Representative Judah Engelmeyer telling me by phone earlier today, Tom, that yes, a three-way call was made between one of Combs's lawyers who did bring in another person on that call with Combs while he has been at Fort Dix, but that there was nothing improper about it. But again, that is not something that you were supposed to do at all. So those lawyers should have known better. As for drinking, he doubled down and said that Combs was not drinking and that in fact he's been admitted into this very specialized rehab program that Fort Dix offers is actually going to potentially lower his sentence. Yeah. He could be released earlier because of that. So they're saying he's done nothing wrong and that any reports that he has been drinking is completely not true.
Sarah, after his trial, a lot of people said he got a legal victory. It looked like he was going to be on his way out in a couple of years. How far back does this set him now?
Well, we don't know yet, Tom, because you still have due process rights in prison, right? So there's going to be an incident report if he in fact was drinking or there's an allegation. Then he's going to go to hearing. And if he's found guilty of it, then there's going to be sanctions. The sanctions could be that he could essentially be thrown in the hole, the SHU, the special housing unit. He could lose his privileges and he could lose at least a minimum of 40 days of time credits, which is big. And I want to say this, drinking in a BOP facility is as serious as committing murder in a BOP facility.
Is it really?
Yeah. As of 2020, the BOP changed the rules and reclassified drinking as one of the most severe charges in custody. So this is really serious. If
Diddy now faces potential consequences that could include placement in the special housing unit, losing privileges, and forfeiting at least 40 days of credit toward his release, directly delaying when he gets out. Adding another layer, reports indicate that Diddy has told associates he's working on a book that could spark legal questions under New York's Son of Sam law, which bars convicted individuals from profiting from the stories of their crimes.
I mean, I don't know to what extent this is sort of this callous sort of thinking on his part, or he just is an addict.
And you were telling me today he's writing a book.
And he's writing a book, which could cause him more problems under the Son of Sam law in New York. If he's monetizing on his crime.
This is all absolutely terrible if true. I mean, Combs made such a big deal about wanting to go to Fort Dix. Yeah. He's trying to get out sooner than the 50 months in prison, Tom. The idea that he would be violating rules left and right within 2 weeks of getting there is really unfathomable after, again, listening to him cry and sob in front of the judge just recently saying, I want to do good, I'm sober, and I want to be released to go home to my family. So again, and like you said, President Trump, he doesn't like drinkers, okay? He doesn't drink himself. His brother was an alcoholic. And so has very strong opinions about that. He's talked about it. And if Diddy's seeking a pardon from President Trump before the new year.
Even after losing significant money battling the trial and managing the surrounding bad publicity, Diddy may be facing a new kind of fight, this time with his own family. According to the National Enquirer, those close to him say his 7 children are preparing legal moves to claim parts of his $400 million fortune. Insiders suggest they're trying to wrest control from his 85-year-old mother, Janice, who remains sharp, determined, and unwilling to step aside. Back in March, reports surfaced that the kids were spending heavily while Diddy remained behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center without bail. Experts warn that, with him incarcerated, he should take steps to protect his assets before the situation becomes even more complicated. Despite the pressure, Janice isn't expected to yield. She raised Diddy and his sister alone after their father's death in 1972 and is known for her toughness. But the story takes an unexpected twist. Jaguar Wright has claimed that Janice Combs might not actually be Diddy's biological mother, adding another layer of intrigue to the family and fortune.
See, when they interviewed Dapper Dan about Diddy?
I haven't seen that one. Please.
They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, but that woman is his aunt.
Whoa. Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers.
For Janice, this could be one of her rare opportunities to secure a significant portion of wealth, especially at 85 years old. In fact, Boozy has suggested that Cassie and her husband were also allegedly trying to maneuver for control over Diddy's assets.